Okay, so this video on chapter 10 will be questions 8 through 16 from your book. And I have them written here in case you don't have your book with you. So you have 30 degrees Celsius, and we want it to become blank degrees Fahrenheit. So we're using the same formula we used in the previous video. These are just 4 more practice questions. So we have 30 degrees Celsius, so 9 times 30, because you put 30 where the C's at. Again, you write everything out. Okay. 9 times 30 would be 270. Then you bring everything back down. Okay, then you're going to add 160 on each side, so it crosses this out. So 270 plus 160, of course it's going to be 430. And then you're bringing your 5 down, so 5F divided by, or 5 divided by 5 is going to mark those out. Then you have 430 divided by 5, it should be 86. So it's 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, next we have here 40 degrees Celsius. So we're going to put 9 times 40 equals 5F minus 160. Okay. 9 times 40 is 360. And remember to bring everything down. Okay, then you're going to add 160 to each side. 360 plus 160 is 520. And then you're going to divide it by 5. And it should be 104. Okay, so number 10, you have 9 times 50 equals 5F minus 160. So 9 times 50 is going to be 450. Remember to bring everything down. So 450 plus 160, okay, is 610. Divide each side by 5. That marks the 2 5s out. 610 divided by 5 should be 122. Okay, number 11, we have 22 degrees Celsius, so it'll be 9 times 22 equals 5F minus 160. So 9 times 22 is 198. You're going to add 160 to each side, marks that out. So 198 plus 160 is 358. Again, we're bringing down our 5F, and we're dividing it. So 5 marks those 2 out. 5 divided by 5 will be 1, so it'll be 5. So that's why it marks those out. And then you have 358, of course, divided by 5, and you come up with 71.6. Okay, in the temperature scales, you always round. So 71.6 would round it up to 72. Okay, so once you get used to these, now I'm just going to do one like this, but once you get used to these formulas, you know, and you have it memorized, you can do just a quicker version of it because you know you're going to, the pattern is you're going to add 160, then divide that number by 5. So, you know, I have some people that'll do that, but you just can't, you got to make sure that you finish all the steps. So 9 times 32, of course, is 288. Okay, then you're going to add 160 to that, and that's going to be 448. And then you divide 448 by 5. Okay, and then you should have 89.6. Okay. Which, that would round up to 90 degrees. Okay. So that's a little shorthand way once you get used to the formula. So if you're going from Celsius to Fahrenheit, you're going to times the number by 9. Okay, then you're going to add the 160, and then you're going to divide it by 5. Okay, I'll do one more that way. But again, when we're going from Fahrenheit to Celsius, you can't do that. So it's just if you just memorize this formula, then you should be fine. But don't do this when you're going from Fahrenheit to Celsius. This is just from Celsius to Fahrenheit. So that's why I like for everybody to use this, because you just plug. If you're just going from Fahrenheit to Celsius, you'd put the number on the F. Okay. But just the easy way, one more time. Here you have 47 degrees, so it'll be 9 times 47. Okay, that's going to be 423. You're going to add 160 to that. You have 583, and then you're going to divide it by 5. And it comes up to be 116.6. Okay, and that's going to be rounded to 117, because you'd round that up. Okay, going back to the long way again. You have 9 times, you have 2 degrees Celsius, so it'd be 9 times 2 equals 5F minus 160. Okay. So you have 18. Okay, so 160 is going to be added to each side, so it marks those out. 160 plus 18 is going to be 178. And you divide each side by 5, so it marks out these two 5s, and leaves just F for Fahrenheit. Then 178 divided by 5 would be 35.6. Okay, and then that's going to round up to 36 degrees. Okay, next here we have again the same formula. We have 12 degrees. Put that with a C. Bring everything down. Okay, so 9 times 12 is 108. Again, bring everything down. Add 160 to each side. Marks these out. It is 268. 268 divided by 5 is going to equal 53.6. And again, you would round that up because this number here is larger than 5. So that would be 54 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so our last problem here is a negative with that, so we're going to treat it just a little bit different. You have 9 times negative 5 equals, and then you bring everything down, 5F minus 160. Okay, so 9 times negative 5, you're going to have negative 45. So you still multiply. 9 times 5 is 45, but anytime you multiply positive with a negative, it's always negative. Okay, equals 5F minus 160. Again, you're going to add 160 to each side. That's going to cross that out. Okay, so when you have, you're going to add 160 to negative 45. So when you add a number to a negative, you're pretty much just, you're subtracting it. 45 from 160. So that will come up to be 115. And then you're going to divide, and again it's positive now because you took 45 from 160. So 5 divided by 115 is you're going to have 23. So 23 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do on this video. On the third video, I will do Fahrenheit to Celsius.